The morning light sliced through the blinds like a knife, hitting Rosalind's face as she bolted upright in bed. Her eyes wide, avoiding mine. This was a mistake, she whispered, her voice cracking like thin ice underfoot, yanking the sheet up to her chest as if it could shield her from what we'd done. Juliet, froze there in the rumpled queen-size bed of my Brooklyn apartment, the scent of last night's rain still clinging to the air mixed with the faint musk of our shared sweat. My heart pounded in my ears, a frantic drumbeat echoing the storm that had driven us together. We'd been friends for years, best friends. The kind who shared late-night tacos from food trucks on Flatbush Avenue and secrets over craft beers at dive bars in Williamsburg. Rosalind, the polished marketing exec at that sleek Manhattan firm, always so put together in her tailored blazers and killer heels, hiding her vulnerabilities behind spreadsheets and client pitches. Me? The freelance photographer, chasing light and shadows through the city's gritty streets, my camera a shield against the chaos of my own emotions. Both of us American-born, raised in the hustle of East Coast life, she in suburban New Jersey, me in upstate New York, but last night, under the thunderous downpour, something cracked open. It started innocently enough. A girls' night out at a rooftop bar in the East Village. The kind where the skyline twinkles like a promise and the cocktails flow like forgotten regrets. We'd laughed about our disastrous dates, hers with that arrogant banker who mansplained feminism, mine with the indie musician who ghosted after one coffee. But as the rain hit, pounding the streets like angry fists, we dashed for cover, ending up soaked and giggling in my tiny walk-up. The power flickered out, candles casting flickering glows on the walls, and suddenly, her hand on my arm felt electric. One glass of cheap Merlot led to confessions, her fear of never finding real connection in the corporate grind, my ache from years of unrequited crushes on straight friends. Then, her lips on mine, soft, tentative at first, then hungry, like we'd both been starving. We tumbled into bed, clothes discarded like old inhibitions, her fingers tracing my skin with a reverence that made me shiver. The thunder outside mirrored the storm inside us, her sighs mingling with the patter of rain on the window pane. It was raw, beautiful, our bodies fitting together like puzzle pieces long lost. I whispered her name, Rosalind, tasting it like honey, and she pulled me closer, her breath hot against my neck. In that moment, under the dim glow of my bedside lamp, I thought maybe this was it, the shift from friendship to something deeper, something real in this city of fleeting encounters. But now, in the harsh dawn, she wouldn't look at me. She swung her legs over the edge of the bed, her bare feet hitting the cold hardwood floor with a soft thud that echoed in my chest. Juliet, I can't, she muttered, grabbing her jeans from the floor. The zippers rasped cutting through the silence like an accusation. The room smelled of stale coffee from the mug I'd left on the nightstand, and the faint lavender of her shampoo lingered on the pillows. I reached out, my hand trembling, but she flinched away, her shoulders hunching as if my touch burned. Why? I demanded, my voice rising, raw with hurt. Last night, you felt it too. Don't deny it. I sat up, the sheet pooling around my waist, exposing the vulnerability I'd hidden for so long. My heart raced, a mix of fear and defiance, the kind that comes from loving someone who's always one step ahead in the emotional marathon. She paused, her back to me, fingers fumbling with her bra clasp. A deep sigh escaped her, heavy with unspoken weight, the kind that carries years of internalized doubt. Because I'm scared. Okay? Scared of what this means. I'm not like you, Juliet. You've always been so open, so brave about who you are. Me? I've spent my life checking boxes, good job, nice apartment, the perfect straight life my parents expect. Last night was incredible. But what if it's just a phase? What if I ruin us? Her words hit like a subway screeching to a halt, the metallic tang of regret in the air. I remembered her stories, family dinners in Jersey where her mom pushed her toward eligible bachelors. The subtle judgments from colleagues about alternative lifestyles. Rosalind had always played it safe, her laughter a mask for the turmoil beneath. But last night, in the heat of passion, that mask had slipped, revealing the woman who craved authenticity. I slid out of bed, the cool air raising goosebumps on my skin, and approached her slowly, like taming a wild animal. Rosalind, look at me. My voice softened, laced with the ache of years pining in silence. She turned, her blue eyes finally meeting mine, glistening with unshed tears. The sunlight caught the dust motes dancing between us. A silent witness to our unraveling. It's not a phase, I said, cupping her face, feeling the warmth of her cheek against my palm. This is us. Real. Messy us. Remember that time we drove to the Hamptons on a whim? You said you felt free for the first time. This could be that, freedom. Together. My thumb brushed away a tear, the salt stinging my skin, a reminder of the pain we both carried. She leaned into my touch, a soft exhale escaping her lips, the tension in her shoulders easing like melting snow. But what if I'm not ready? What if society, work, family? Screw them, I interrupted, my voice fierce, channeling the fire of every pride parade I'd marched in. We're in New York. For God's sake. The city that never judges. Much. A small laugh bubbled up from her, breaking the heaviness. The sound like birdsong after a storm. We stood there, foreheads touching, breath sinking in the quiet morning. The distant hum of traffic below filtered in, the city's pulse reminding us life moved on. One step at a time, I whispered. Starting with breakfast. Pancakes at that diner on the corner? She nodded, a tentative smile cracking her facade. Yeah. Pancakes sound good. As we dressed, the awkwardness faded, replaced by a tentative hope. We walked out hand in hand, the Brooklyn streets awakening with dog walkers and joggers, the aroma of fresh bagels wafting from a nearby bakery. In that moment, I realized the night wasn't a mistake, it was a beginning. Rosalind's avoidance wasn't rejection, it was fear giving way to courage. And in the end, that's what love is, not avoiding eyes, but meeting them, flaws and all. We sat in the diner booth, syrup dripping from forks, her foot nudging mine under the table. To new mornings, she toasted with her coffee mug, her gaze steady now, full of promise. And just like that, in the heart of America's melting pot, two women found their truth, not in grand gestures, but in the quiet aftermath of one transformative night.